against LNG and 85% of the time against Weibo is available for both teams.
And we're going to see the Jinx prioritized first pick for LNG. Again, both AD carries great at cleaning up those team fights and scaling into being monsters. So definitely a big focus there for Weibo. We often see AD carry and jungler on this rotation. And actually, we typically see the Aphelios trade-off, but this is a bit of a Huangfeng special where he goes for the Xayah instead. But not yet. They're going to commit to this Lee Sin, right? I think it's a big pick for SOFM. Also, a humongous denial away from Tarzan. I still expect them to probably pick up the AD carry here. Leaving it till the third pick can be risky, but still could go in a different direction. Twisted Fate, as you said, is available. There's still support options with 2 banned already. Maybe there's one they want to commit to.
To see. I mean, the Lee Sin pick, you're absolutely right. It's the denial from Tarzan. It's also a comfort for SOFM, right? I would say 2 of the very best Lee Sins in the league in this lobby, right? SOFM, Tarzan. I would say Caster's in that conversation as well. And I'm sure people. But Tarzan goes for the Diana and immediately a Renekton alongside it.
So we had so much talk of this at the start of the season. We did see a little bit, but we just really haven't seen as much Diana Renekton as was kind of expected coming into the season. But really strong combo, the great setup for a jungler who can farm extremely fast, and just as long as you land your Q, you're just gonna be able to nuke down a target. So top lane, the Shy potentially gonna be punishable here. Now we do see Desire come in through for Huangfeng, so a very safe bot lane between these two, especially after level 6. And now Weibo can look at the support role, anything that has potential issues there, or just decide to start off with the Camille ban. For LNG, I feel like, you know, you could look in the direction of things like that Twisted Fate that we talked about. Could also look to try and target top laners that you feel like you'd have a hard time punishing.
I want to just quickly talk about this Xayah for a second while the bans come through, because this has been, like you said before, a pocket pick for Huangfeng. We're seeing very little Xayah pretty much anywhere else in the world, but Huangfeng specifically, he's played it 4 times this split already, 100% win rate on the pick with an 11.3 KDA. Huangfeng is absolutely firing on all cylinders on this pick. So even though it looks weird to see a Xayah right now, do not underestimate what he could do. It is very much comfort for him. His LNG banning out tanks in this top side with the Malphite being taken off the board.
Yeah, so just not want to give Shy a pick where he can play sort of defensively under tower and survive. As well, the Xayah into the Diana Renekton, definitely a pick you want to be able to deal with that peel. So we'll see Weibo. You could just take your top lane here if you expect the Renekton to definitely be there, but instead opting to potentially lean for a mid lane here and now. My concern with the Corki is it does mean that WBG can essentially pick whatever he wants to find pressure and roam up. Even an Orianna would have a lot of pressure in this matchup and scale exceptionally well. Think of the dive potential, the wombo combo between the Diana Orianna. And obviously, if you push in the Corki, very easy to roam up topside. We could also see things like the Twisted Fate come out. But for now, they are going to look to actually potentially flex that Renekton in the mid lane. So still going to have the setup, but the Jace in the top lane means that the Shy is going to have an exceptionally rough time in this lane.
Yeah, a bit of a do and be special, taking that Renekton to the mid lane. And Jace going up towards that top side against the Shy. But the counter pick, like you say, Shy, we'll see where he's going to go with that one. I'm just saying, Tahm Kench can be played top lane. You can build a lot of armor on that champion, but we'll have to see. I'm not anticipating
not so much after the changes.
Nautilus going to be locked in here for Lumao, and immediately Sion being hovered. The Shy has had hit or miss performances on Sion in the past.
Definitely sometimes looks to utilize the passive a bit excessively. So the thing is, I feel like you have to pick something like the Sion because you are going to get targeted so heavily. And my concern in this series is I kind of talked about how the mid jungle was really important. I don't see how you win out in the mid jungle with that Corki, with the fact you're up against the Renekton Diana. Well, likely we expect to see the Jace go top. It just feels like LNG have so much pressure on the top side, and then they have this Jinx that will be super powerful in the late game as insurance. Like if you get all ahead on this Jace, he will absolutely deliver. He has the huge shock blast to match the Corki poke. You have Jinx who outranges the Xayah and can shred through the Sion. And again, this mid jungle is so powerful early that I feel like the fact that Angel is on this Corki is going to be a little bit of a liability for Weibo. They definitely want to slow down the early game and try and lean into the sort of neutral objective fights when they have that package available.
Yeah, they're going to try at very least. There's a lot of scaling on the side. Weibo roster, but to be fair, same can be said for this Jinx and for the Jace as well. But Tarzan on the Diana. This is one of those champions that pretty much changes the shape of a game of League of Legends, right? When a Diana is in the Rift, everybody's looking out for that ultimate. It will win or lose a fight. You whiff it, you're completely useless for the rest of the skirmish. But when you land that big ulti, especially when you've got follow-up from a Shock Blast, from a Jinx Rocket, that can win the game individually. We talked about Tarzan being the driving force for LNG when it comes to finding their wins. It's all about Tarzan starting the early game strong. We'll see if the Diana pick is going to work out for him.
Yeah, and if they're able to shut the Lee Sin out of the game, garner a big CS advantage, they can really have so much momentum in this one. You know, they're going to have the Sion, who's going to be a strong frontliner, and the team fighting can block the poke from the Jace. But if he ends up getting really far behind, if Lee Sin's behind, a lot of problems that can arise.
Certainly can, as we head on to Summoner's Rift. It's going to be the second series of the day, but it is the fight for first place here in the LPL. Weibo Gaming up against LNG, and you can see they're chilling there in the background. Chilling being the name of that mythical beast that's on their logo. It's not a dragon, guys. It's a Chinese mythical lizard horse thing. I don't really know how to describe it, to be honest. Just Google. Well, you won't be able to spell it. It's with a Q instead of a CH. I digress. Weibo, start things off slow. Same for LNG. No deep vision just yet. Just spreading out across the map, making sure for no invades.
I don't want to go for anything too crazy. And honestly, LNG, their level 1's not exactly stellar. We'll see what vision is able to get laid down in the early levels. We often see a strategy recently. It's like a late invade when you're on red side onto the enemy red buff to get down a ward. He's going to do that himself solo on the opposite side, but no vision actually placed down on the bot side of the map by Weibo. So a little bit not exactly what we see all the time, but they will give a pretty strong leash over to SOFM to get things rolling. Whereas for Tarzan, it is just going to be him solo starting. Going to use the Q, I think, here just to leash both of them so you can clear them both at the same time. Obviously, one of the strengths of Diana is that AoE, is that strength of and speed of your clearing.
SOFM, though, will be able to match it at least somewhat when it's on the single target camps, like that Gromp, for example. And we'll see if SOFM is going to try and get active in this early game. Lumao certainly is. There's a hook onto Hwampong. Good bit of trading coming out from the LNG bot lane. That might just secure them the level 2 spike here, which Weibo will have to respect and back away from.
Yeah, one of the powers of that Jinx is that big ability to push the waves, the AoE and the rockets, or just using the minigun for the extra attack speed. But also Nautilus level 1, pretty intimidating now. Well, they're taking a bit of a rough trade against the Shy, but does have priority there as well. And able to instantly start moving around and getting some vision down just to make sure he's covered and safe from any potential ganks. And I feel like that's the thing here is Lee Sin does have better ganks than Diana early. Definitely a factor. And SOFM might be reliant on those, because if it just comes down to they're both farming, they're both clearing, Diana will curve ahead quite heavily. Once she hits that level 6 point, you get so much extra power to play around with.
Yeah, we need to see SOFM impacting these lanes, getting some advantages with the Lee Sin, because like you say, he'll fall behind that Diana. But I'm curious if Tarzan will do a similar thing, right? Are you expecting Tarzan just to farm up, try and hit level 6, and that's the story of this early game? Because I'd be a little worried for LNG if that's the case. We keep on talking about the fact that Tarzan pretty much is the early game for LNG. He's the guy that makes things happen.
I feel like his side lane dives is what I'm looking for from Tarzan. I feel like you get a bit of momentum, right? You get through your first clear. You find an opportunity where WBG has pushed the wave in and can roam to the side lane. And then you can, you know, either look to dive the Sion. I think bot lane's a little trickier. Xayah and Tom are harder just to pull a dive off against because they have, you know, the root from the Xayah, the extra tankiness from the Tom Kench. But you can easily go top and look to snowball this Jace from the back of that. So I fully expect he will look to do so.
WBG does not know SOFM was coming in from the side here. Might be able to force a flash, but Angel was nowhere near the play. Did not realize that was happening and cannot follow up. But will mean that SOFM at least gets his top scuttle. But he is way behind on tempo now. Only just resetting as Tarzan gets back onto the map on the top side.
Yeah, and I like the gank on a WBG, right? If you apply that pressure early, put him behind a bit, you also allow Angel to get the shove in here so you can reset. But it doesn't really do much to slow WBG down, especially as you see him there just sustain back up and just have TP to match Angel.
I love watching Sion trades. They're so funny. It's like, you just take no damage and just slam down the axe and return. As Ala not having a fun time of it up in this top side so far. Pretty much even in farm. The way very pushed up, and good little E there though to knock the Shy away and manage to not lose the trade too heavily. But it looks like Ala might actually just have to reset.
Yeah, low on mana, which makes it a little bit precarious. The wave isn't really in a great spot because it's kind of just being kept frozen by the Shy, which means, you know, it is a big stacked wave, so they can crash it. They have dive potential, but that hasn't really come to fruition yet for the side of LNG. And right now, Weibo, they're just happy to farm up the time being, especially Angel in particular. If they can get through this early game without WBG really doing anything on the Renekton, you'd much rather have a Corki in your team. But I do think early Dragon, definitely a conversation to be had, because it's something I always talk about the Corki, where when you get to that third Dragon, you're going to have the package synced up. It's going to be a lot harder to contest. If you can start collecting them early, it definitely relieves a lot of pressure. So LNG making a good move to pick this up. And also Dana, just exceptional damage to neutral objectives.
And great stuff. You see both Doonby and Light moving from their sides to get involved in this Drake as well, to make sure that they have that one. But Ala's in trouble. His SOFM is already up in this top side. Flash available for Ala. Is he actually going to get away with this one? Getting towards the wall, but the flash from the Shy. And it might be the Baus up in that top side right now. 1-0 on the Scion. It's a good lead for Weibo, but it's in trade for a Dragon.
Yeah, but I think Weibo honestly fine with that, right? You're putting Jace behind a decent amount in the matchup, and it is one of those situations, if the Shy gets ahead on this Scion, he can just become super tanky, super hard to deal with. And basically, at any time, if he pops the ultimate, which is now available, can it potentially set up an engage onto Arla and just run him down. You see Lumao
CS deficit on the top side as well. Now massive lead as many minions dying to the tower off the back of that play. Onfong and On could be in trouble in the bottom side, but I don't think that they will step up enough for Lumao to find that engage.
That wasn't really an angle. And again, it's a pre-6 Diana, so don't really have as much power. Still, you see SFM's been keeping up in farm and has obviously managed to get that first gank off. But now Diana with the 6 available, a lot more agency. We haven't seen too much action from Doinby in the mid lane, but now is the kind of opportunity where I'm looking towards the side lanes. I'm looking for you to try and make those dives happen and rotate that pressure, because you really want the momentum. You don't pick Diana Renekton just to chill and farm up.
Yeah, you're not exactly going to outscale the enemy as that Renekton, right? You are going to fall off later in the game. We need to see this mid-jungle 2v2. It's what we talk about every single time that we commentate LNG. Tarzan and Doonby linking up. But we've got an ulti up in the top side from the Shy. Going aggressive here. Has Spellbook, which means he currently has Ignite available. Ala has to be so careful in that top side now. The second he steps up, the Shy will go for a kill.
You know, and you expect the Shy to be a player who likes to dominate in the 1v1. Like, you don't really expect it to be happening as a Scion. But this is what can happen if you're playing Jace and you fall behind. Really can struggle to get back in the matchup against tanks, because, again, Jace is going to build lethality. The Shy is going to build armor.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's already got a Warden spell for himself. Crashing yet another wave in this top side. Ala will arrive in time to collect most of this, so he'll be okay. And actually has closed the CS gap a little bit that we saw before, because there was a crashing wave at the time. And so we'll be just about, or slightly less than 10 CS behind in that top side as Tarzan starts up the Rift Herald for himself. Has priority in the mid lane because Angel had reset. I think Angel might just have the package.
Yeah, it's moving a little bit slowly, but I would assume he picks it up at this timing off the map. So, yeah, we'll make his way over. Makes it a little bit tricky to contest for LNG, but they do have the numbers advantage. You can see on the map, On hasn't moved up in time.
Wait, look at this. Look where Light is. I don't know how he's ended up in this position. On cannot find him. He's searching. They must have chased him into the river, and he somehow juked them. I want a replay of that. I want to know what on earth happened that Light had to recall in the back of the Dragon Pit.
Kind of a wild one, but either way, it means he's not diveable in this current situation. We'll see the plates traded off, but LNG with the Herald in hand can definitely find more. Now, Angel, he still has the package for a little bit longer. He's looking for Tarzan.
Oh, he's found Tarzan. The red buff taken by Tarzan here. The double vault comes on through. Tarzan has to flash over the wall surely here, but it goes for his own ulti. Big damage, but not big enough.
Yeah, I think at that point, you kind of realize if you flash, these things can just follow you and you just burn your summoner. So ends up just going down there. A little bit of an overstep, right? Doinby was actually on the bot side of the map at that moment, clearing out some vision. So you went in very aggressively and alone and were punished pretty swiftly. You got to respect the package, right? The assumption is we've got the objective. Package isn't a threat, but Angel holds onto it and still finds some value. A kill onto this Corki. And this is going to be that 80 carry Corki, not the poke Corki. So a little bit better at cutting through threats like WB on this Renekton, but not quite as much threat at the long range.
Wanfeng might just be in trouble here. Has his ultimate available, and that's going to be used immediately. The flash as well. Nice creative flash there, going sideways on the Flame Choppers to also dodge the hook from Lumao. Well played there by Wanfeng.
Yeah, good moves. Able to get away from that one. But still, it's LNG being proactive and burning that ultimate. But I got to say, right, we set up this game being like, we see the Diana and the Renekton. We see Jason in the top lane. I want proactivity. I want to see them snowballing. I want to see them diving sides. So far, Weibo pretty comfortable in this one.
Yeah, they're more than happy with this one. And again, the scaling conversation, fantastic for them, right? They've got the Corki, which scales incredibly well, regardless of which style of Corki you go for. The Xayah is going to be an amazing late game carry. And then you've got Sion, like literally the best scaling tank in the entire game. So phenomenal stuff for Weibo when it comes to playing for that late game. And the Shy still just bullying in this top side. This is not the way I would have anticipated this going, but Ala not having a fun time of it. And now, second Drake of the game started up by Weibo.
Yeah, and I really feel like the contest might be a little bit difficult here. The LNG moving over. Actually, maybe it was a bit of an early Dragon style. I'll take that back. Wanfeng not even in vicinity, so LNG will force that off. If LNG can get the second Dragon, definitely a positive. It does mean there's a little bit less pressure when we start seeing the package synced up with the Dragon. For now, though, Angel with double buffs heading over. Weibo should feel comfortable to contest this one, especially once Wanfeng gets there. But actually, I guess they just don't feel like they're in position to go for it.
Not feeling it right now. Not feeling it. So they are just going to back away on. His Spidey sense was tingling, I think, for a second there. Was recalling on a ward, but managed to walk away before Lumao's hook comes on through.
Part of the thing is, I feel like WB hasn't backed in a long time. He actually is really weak right now on the map. I feel like that's why I felt they could have been confident to go for that. Maybe he just didn't like click, but like, look at the side. He's got 4,100 gold, and look at his inventory. He has Ninja Tab, right? Like, he has so much gold in pocket that, I mean, I know it's a Renekton.
He's going to base it by a whole gold drinker at this rate.
Yeah, so, oh, nice engage.
Hang on. Hook onto Wanfeng. He doesn't have his ultimate available just yet, and On isn't there in time to save him. The Devour could not come through. Beautifully done here by LNG to find that dive.
Yeah, especially as it was a matter of seconds, right? The ult, if you actually look now, is available. If they'd done that play 5 seconds later, would have completely backfired, but they find a critical window. Now they're going to drop the Herald, and we talk about, you know, a couple of plates isn't really that much of the investment to get from the Herald, but to get a whole first tower onto the Diana and onto the Jinx, absolutely massive, and exactly what we want to see from LNG.
1,000 gold difference between the 80 carries off the back of this Herald play. We were complaining about Herald in the first series of the day, how it wasn't being used effectively enough. That's how you use a Herald right there. Beautifully done by LNG. And we said in the early game, if they can find advantages in these side lanes with Tarzan influencing the lanes, that's how they win their games. Well, they've got a big old advantage in that bot side now.
Yeah, 10 seconds away when the ult actually connects. Dies with it 7 seconds away. On nearly there to eat as well, but ultimately a very finite window that they were able to find and capitalize on. So well played from LNG. Do still want to see more momentum from them. This Renekton pick has done nothing so far, is one thing I'll say, right? Obviously, Renekton still spikes hard in the mid game. Still very effective on this patch. We haven't had the bruiser itemization changes, but you really don't want to be picking a Renekton and just have a farm fest against a Corki, especially when it's also a Corki with their First Strike, who's just going to be farming extra gold off you because you're a melee champion.
Yeah, and he's gone for that shield bow build that you mentioned earlier on as well, which, you know, a lot of people not big fans of the AD Corki these days, but especially when you're against this composition with a Diana, with a Jace, etc., the shield is going to be valuable for Angel. That's going to keep him alive in a lot of situations as he quite happily goes for a trade with Tarzan here. Tarzan goes for the Crescent Strike, and Angel's like, you want to go, mate? Let's go. SFM's just around the corner. Tarzan has to back away.
And honestly, I think it makes sense because they have this Lethality Xayah, right? I think if you go for the Pro Corki and Lethality Xayah, your sustained DPS is really, really lacking. Especially as a big factor is you have a tank top, right? Lee Sin, not the highest damage jungler. He's not the scale as well as, say, a Viego. You could just end up running out of damage and not having the sustained DPS in fights if it was a Pro Corki. So I think the build makes sense here. I think the reasoning is understandable. Despite the fact that Pro Corki is insane, you just kind of need that. We will get a picture-in-picture to see Bit of a misclick on a Gale Force there, coming out from Light, so it is on cooldown. And it looks like setup for this Herald fight is coming in.
Yeah, Gale Force cooldown, quite a big deal for a Herald fight here, but LNG still confident to go for this one as Ala just leaving the base now, but the same can be said for the Shy. With that said though, 1,000 gold lead in favor of the Shy right now. Already has a chem tank as well as a bonus Warden's Mail in his inventory, so you can expect him to just charge into that fray fearlessly. As the Herald started and Weibo the ones comfortably on the scene. As LNG will now group up and try and contest.
Yeah, and you got when we coming in the flank, we want the Renekton on a flank angle, right? Xayah very good at dealing with targets from one direction.
Oh, SOFM! That was gorgeous. Ala does get out with his life. SOFM, I mean, he's going to pay for that one with his life as he tries to get out to safety. Devour actually going to work, and the Shy makes it happen! The Shy and SOFM, partners in crime, making the impossible possible.
The carry Sion performance. Shy actually maybe in a bit of trouble here.
He's going to get knocked up. He is damn tanky, though, and I'm not sure they have the damage to finish him off. He's got so much armor already. Comfortably walks away.
Yeah, really nice delivery there on that double kill. We're going to get a replay. This kick was so slick coming from S2FM. Ola did have the flash, so he wasn't instantly deleted off the back of it, but lands the Sonic Wave here onto Light. Goes for it, Ward Hop, and actually burns Light's flash as well, because Light expects to play onto him. Super slick from S2FM. Kind of seeing the value of him on this Lee Sin here, and does even manage to escape thanks to Eat from on there, but ultimately just the Shy coming in, delivering with the ultimate. And this is the big threat, right? As we talked about LNG having the power of this mid jungle, they can snowball sides, the Jason Jinx can carry them in the late stages. If you don't get ahead in this game, you are dealing with a brick wall Sion and 2 strong backline carries who are going to be massive issues later on.
You absolutely are. Not to mention SOFM playing this Lee Sin. I said at the start when he locked it in, Tarzan and SOFM, 2 of the best Lee Sins in the league, and SOFM showing his prowess. I think a player that a lot of people kind of underestimate in a lot of situations is Ala. Not having a fun time against Angel off in this side lane, but Angel needs to be cautious because his shield bow is on cooldown now. But SOFM's moving over. There's the ward hop. He lands the Sonic Wave, and he goes in with a little emote as well. But the kick is actually going to save Ala, who has the Eclipse. Doesn't matter. SOFM finds a solo kill onto Ala. And Weibo, it feels like they're styling right now. It's going to be a Herald charge in this top side, and the Shy realizes he's got to get out of dodge, has his ultimate available. Going to go for a chem tank, though, instead, because he knew Lumao could block the ulti.
So unafraid.
The Shy survives. He's not afraid of anything. Happy to just walk up to them. Knows how damn tanky he is. Knows that Tarzan is the only one that does any damage to him.
Yes, smite as well, but remember, when you have spellbook, it's not going to be the empowered smite, so not really going to be able to use that to clear up the Herald. Still get the second charge, but they only get 1 tower, and in return, Angel picking up that tier 2, so much gold into his pocket. It's now 1,600 gold lead. We see Angel's picked up the mana immune, it's about stacked up. Weibo are super strong right now, and I keep bringing it back. This Renekton has done nothing, right? It really feels like it's just been a non-factor. You're 0-0-0 on it, and it's like you're into a Corki who's just been farmed. We're going to replay of how this went down. And essentially just the package advantage, right?
Yeah, straight up package diff on this one. Imagine if it's a split second sooner. Ala knocked away from the tower instead of under it. That would have been just a solo kill for Angel immediately. But SFM able to make it happen. To finish things off, and that Gore Drinker literally saving his life. Ala doing his best, but in a 2v1, only so much you can do there. And Weibo now in a phenomenal position, right? The gold difference is actually not that dramatic. 1,500 gold in their favor, but now with the most recent Drake looking towards that Ocean Soul, if they can keep stacking those Drakes. And I feel like you're saying, the onus is on LNG and specifically Doomby to start impacting this game, right? 200 CS at the 18-minute mark. He's had 200 CS for about 20 seconds, I would say. So very impressive farm numbers, but you know, we need to see that translated into kills. We need to see that translated into the skirmishing power that a Renekton brings to the table.
Yeah, but one of the problems as well, I mean, not only is Renekton a pick you need to like snowball with to have value in the late stages, but the Jace as well. You're 25 CS down, you're 0-3-0. This pick is a pick that needs momentum, right? If you're behind the curve, you're just useless. And especially as if you look on the other side, right, you have the tank top lane and the soak poke. Angel has the shield bow for sustain. Huangfeng has the eclipse for sustain, right? If your shock blasts aren't doing much damage, they'll just out heal it. and you really won't be relevant. I've had criticism for Arla so far this split. There's definitely been moments where he's been very underwhelming in the laning phase, and it has really been that way this game. LNG, although the goal difference isn't that big, it just feels like they're quite far behind in power as of now.
Certainly does. We'll see if Weibo can actually exploit that. 2 items now on Angel, and we're getting close to 2 items up for the Shy as well. I believe he's not reset in a little while, so you expect him to finish off his second item when he does go for that reset. Drake going to be coming up in a minute and a half, so those item spikes are going to be pretty nice for the side of Weibo, and Angel is really not afraid of this Renekton. He's more than happy to go for the 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's kind of like the Renekton's value has been long outlived. Angel is feeling really strong right now, level 13, pretty farmed up. But we do see the Shy again, just bullying him.
The Shy is trying to find a solo kill off of the sideline. He's playing tank Sion, but that will not stop him. Lumao moves in, gets a hook. He's tanking the tower. I'm not sure he's that afraid, though. Still managing to survive for the time being. Flash available for him. Does have to go for that one now. Waiting for his shield cooldown. 2 seconds until that, but he goes down. Lumao punishing the play. But in the meantime, doing B up on the top side. The other tank taken out.
Yeah, and as a result, Weibo will get this top lane tower. It was a shutdown from the Shy. So overall, ends up at even. Actually, I say that. No minion wave. May not even get the tower on that. But yeah, 600 gold in the pocket of Arla. Definitely something you need right now. Did manage to close the gap a little bit. But yeah, it just feels like if you think about how long it took to take the Shy down, imagine that's in a team fight when Corki is hammering down at you, when Feng Feng is just layering damage. We're going to see a replay off it. It's actually the top lane play. It might be very low because of the chunk that came from Angel before. It just really isn't doing anything at this point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously didn't realize On was there. So a solo laner with a sneaky support on both sides of the map there as the Shy TP's in. They're trying to fight for mid prio, maybe get a mid tower before this Drake fight that happens here. We've got the Ocean Drake live on the map, and SOFM going to start that one off for his team while the rest of the squad just grouping up. You're absolutely right. Angel with the package in his pocket. And that should be enough to deter LNG as the Shy happy to just tank the tower while Huanfeng gets hits in here. And he literally barely lost any health whatsoever. He's got 2.5 items. I mean, the Shy's practically invincible.
Look at these autos, by the way. He doesn't even break the shield. Finally, just 4 autos it took Light to break the shield, by the way. Definitely not doing that much damage, and it is the Gale Force, not the Kraken Slayer. Obviously, Kraken Slayer, you get the attack speed mythic passive, the true damage as well, definitely more DPS. So I'm not saying the decision's wrong. The mobility will definitely come in useful, but feels like Light is a long way away from being able to shred through the Shy. And the Shy's looking for a play.
The Shy, he's behind enemy lines here onto Lumao, trying to block the escape. Knock up after knock up. Lumao in a bounce house. And it's going to be Weibo finding themselves a pick onto the enemy support and perhaps an opportunity to posture around that Baron that's just come up onto the map a couple of minutes ago. Certainly they have priority to do so, but not going to be too aggressive. The Shy's still going. He just won't stop. The Shy won't give them a break.
Like, he's so annoying. And the thing is, if they commit to him, it's so risky, buys so much time. And as well, you have the Tom Kench nearby to eat out. Now, it is going to be resets coming out from Weibo. They will finally pick up that top tier 1. And in the meantime, we see LNG. I say that. They're still leaving it alive. Angel not wanting to overstay. But critically, we see LNG will take the Scuttle Crabs. They have a bit of vision information around the area. The goal lead is about 2,500, just under. So, you know, we've seen bigger goal leads at this point in the game, and the Dragons are dead even. LNG aren't completely out of it, and actually Arla did get the Mana Immune completed, and I saw him at a shock back on Huanfeng. He did a fair bit of damage, but still looking rough.
Okay.
Oh no.
Angel going for a 1v1 with Doing B once again. Dominus pop just to try and survive as Doing B now looks to turn it around, but SOFM is here to help finish the job. Angel with his hat trick now. 3 kills on both solo laners for Weibo, and that's a huge pick. Doing B now down 0-2-0 this game. Weibo on the top side of the map with vision control, with no enemy mid laner. This feels like a huge opportunity.
Absolutely does. They're going to finally take that tower. They're stealing away some camps, and the thing...
Are they? Will they ever?
Yes, finally. Okay, they got the tower. They did it. You know, that honestly deserves a round of applause after all this time, but I they're stealing away some camps. They are waiting for someone from LNG to step up. You can see Lumao is trying to contest some vision here. bear in mind, if Weibo go to the Baron, they have an exceptionally healthy Baron. It's pretty fast as well, right? They have Corki and the Xayah do good DPS. But it's the fact that if the Shy is tanking it, they can pretty much tank it for such an extended period of time without getting chunked out. So the second they find a window, can potentially look. But for now, they're just fishing, contesting this vision. LNG will look to contest. And for now, with Angel on a reset, I don't think they want to go too aggressive. But look at this Corki's items. 3 fully completed and got that Coalfields and got that stopwatch. Compare that to this Renekton, who just has the 2 and a couple of resistance pieces.
Yeah, it's not a fair fight between the solo laners right now in either of the solo lanes, and SOFM does it again. Kick onto Tarzan. No follow-up from his team, but he doesn't even need them. SOFM looking for a solo kill onto Tarzan, devoured by On to keep him alive as DoNB goes down on the other side of the fight. SOFM, he is just playing out of his mind today on this Lee Sin.
Really performing on it. There's the aspect of denial. You're against Tarzan, you take the Lee Sin. But SOFM more than accomplished on this pick as delivering, and now they head over the Baron. Remember, SOFM has good sustain. You can see him healing up there, and the Scion is super tanky. They don't have to rush this Baron, right? They can wait and force LNG to contest. Pick a perfect time to find and engage, and potentially get some exit kills off the back as well. You can see they have Wangfeng's not even hitting the Baron. They don't even need him because they can just take it as slow as they want.
Tarzan is here, though. They need to be cautious. Lumao having to use a stopwatch super early. Wangfeng with an aggressive ultimate here. Will buy them a kill onto the enemy support. Ooh. Rocket through, though. On is down. Weibo needs to be cautious. Tarzan into the pit. It's going to be a smite off between SOFM, but it's Tarzan to get it. LNG maybe with a miracle play now. Is SOFM stuck in the back of the pit? Doesn't have anyone to jump to and will fall to DoNB. Suddenly everything turns around and LNG are back on top.
You know, I said Weibo could take it as slow as they wanted. It looks like they went a little bit too far with that one. They allow an opportunity for Tarzan to get in the pit. They allow an opportunity for LNG to approach, and Light gets the resets. Bear in mind, he now has the Lord Dominic's, a lot more damage to these tankier targets. Gonna really cut through on SOFM and Shy a fair bit sooner. So we can see on this replay, the problem is, right, they commit so heavily just for the Nautilus. Wangfeng could have just killed Lumao. You don't all need to peel out the pit. They take a huge shock blast in the interim, and Wangfeng is extremely low. On doesn't use his Grey Hell, and then finally they're retreating. They don't want to fight. Tarzan comes to the pit and the Baron is too low. Look at Light. He gets it low enough for Tarzan to smite, and Weibo, not interested in following out the fight, lose the Baron, and everything, honestly, in that play.
It's a really tough one for Weibo. They still have both of their carries untouched. You've got a Sherilda now coming through for Huanfeng. He is incredibly strong. This is probably the strongest the Xayah becomes throughout this game with the lethality build. And Drake is the call. Angel has that package available, so keep your eyes on that Corki. It's going to be so crucial whether or not Angel can find that big ulti. SOFM onto the Drake here. Tarzan has smite available as well, though. And in with the package. Angel just trying to buy space for Tarzan on the Drake right here. They're trying to burn it down. The Shy also just zoning. Drake taken, and now Weibo in full retreat, but they might just turn around for the fight here. The Shy happy to sit on the front line, but he's not tanky enough to deal with all 5 members. The rest of Weibo don't follow up, and now SOFM tanking up, trying to escape to the rest of his team as Light jumps forward. Can't finish the kill. Weibo trying to survive, trying to buy time, but they're on the wrong side of the map. They're getting chased around. Look where Allah is on the map right now. This is beautiful from LNG. Just stop the recalls and let your solo laners take towers. Beautifully done.
Yeah, losing the dragon, obviously not great, but LNG managed to find the kill, get some structures on the back of it as well, and that gold lead that Weibo had has been completely eclipsed. In fact, I think with Allah taking this top lane tier 2, they will pull ahead in terms of gold. So really solid play coming out from LNG. This Jinx really online now. The difference it makes when you have a Lord Dominic's, and honestly, Ollie's already got the last whisper. The Shy went from being immortal to, you know, actually killable at this point. And honestly, this package helped secure the dragon, right? Because it completely cuts off LNG, but it doesn't do anything for them in the fight, right? Package now died. The Shy ends up pathing into the pit, a bit of an overstay, and he dies a lot faster than he was earlier in the game, right? The damage is now there for the carries. Only takes a couple of seconds. And then it's just retreat mode once again for Weibo.
Yeah. I mean, the Shy literally was 1v5 in that fight, I think. Not necessarily a criticism to the rest of the Weibo there. Maybe a criticism towards the Shy. Did not need to go for that fight. They'd already got the Drake. Now in full retreat as SOFM chased out of his jungle. Drops a cheeky little thumbs up as the Shy sticking around in this bottom side. Has Ghost as well as his Chem Tech here, so very, very fast Sion if he needs to be. Now, with neither objective up for a couple of minutes, the question is, what can LNG do with the advantage that they've found?
Yeah, well, I think, honestly, getting vision, like pushing up lanes, you can play through two of them, right? So if they push up mid, they set up a wave stacked in the top lane to apply pressure there. Although, honestly, I think the tier 2 bot is the easier one to do. But really, I feel like they might just end up playing a bit of a waiting game, fishing for opportunities if someone steps up. But it's kind of hard to force against this composition. There's a bit too much wave clear on Weibo, I think, is the issue. And Angel, what are you doing?
Tarzan going to find a two-man ulti here, but on saves Angel with that Devour. It will be a big cooldown, though. Lumao, in the meantime, caught out on the other side of the fight. The Shy charges at light, but doesn't find the knockup. He's going to be the one to go down at the end of all of that. Just one casualty. Wonfong with a big ulti. Ally into the backline. Big damage out coming out from Angel here. Tarzan jumps back in once more. Wonfong needs to finish him, but can't do the damage. Angel still going strong, though. Is on the front line, and SOFM finds a Sonic Wave onto the backline. Doesn't commit to it. Doing B. Finished off by the backline of Weibo, who just don't seem to be able to die. LNG trying their everything, but they only find the Shy.
Yeah, honestly, it was such a weird start to the fight. Angel just such face checking, but the peel from the Tahm Kench allows him to survive, and what ends up happening is because Weibo can just back up, because Angel and Wongfong are able to free hit, they end up just cutting through the members of LNG. Ola, again, overstepped massively there. With the replay, so yeah, really weird start of the fight. Angel just kind of, I don't really know what this was. Obviously has the safety of the Tahm Kench, and they do end up burning the Diana ult, which is kind of significant because that's such a big tool. But then the fight continues. The Shy overestimating his tankiness here. There's no real follow-up on this one, and he just gets shredded. But then Arled just completely oversteps here, trying to go for the kill. Flash from Wongfong means they can turn it around. He just gets deleted, and it feels like Angel plays this one so well, permanently making sure he can't get jumped on. Flashes away from Doinby and just constantly layering damage out here. And I respect SOFM for not taking the Sonic Wave and just letting his backline do the work.
I would have taken the Sonic Wave. I don't respect it at all. So, SOFM, you should have gone for it, mate. Yeah, really smart play coming out from Weibo. 12-6 on the scoreboard, but goal just about even. Ala caught by the Shy. Great charge in, and the rest of the team collapses as well. There's one, but now, a four-man ulti coming out from Tarzan, but he's exhausted. Doesn't finish the kills, and they're still going strong. Good be in the middle of everyone. Wonfong falls, though. Angel has to carry now as the Shy over on the other side of the fight, trying to buy time for his squad, but Angel surely will fall. A kill coming through for Light at the end of it, and LNG regaining control.
They can actually just push up mid. I don't know how much damage they can do, but there's long death timers on the carries. Remember, this is the Lee Sin and just to tank Sion. They can honestly just ignore the Sion at this point. They're definitely going to get an inhib, but maybe even more here. We'll see what they end up going for. I think actually they're just going to back away and play it safe. Yeah. It's still a lot of time with those death timers. Look, it's still 20 seconds for Wongfong. Man.
And crucially, Drake is up on the map as well, right? We've got 3 Drakes apiece now because LNG will have this uncontested. I'm sure we're going to have a replay of what just happened there because these fights are so chaotic, because it's so hard to keep a track of every single carry because they're all going... We're seeing 2 separate fights at the same time.
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, this was a great engage from the Shy. But Tarzan on the Diana over the wall here. This ultimate solo carries the fight. Yes, gets exhausted. But the big pull burns the Tahm Kench, burns the Featherstorm, and still does a solid amount of damage. And then that allows Doinby to get in. This is the power of that combo. Able to get in the backline. Now, though, we're going to have to go back to live because this is the thing. Those death timers for so long. Actually, it's so Weibo on the Baron.
The hook almost hitting onto Angel there. Has to use the package super early. Lumao with a good hook to burn a cooldown. Now in they go. SOFM trying to make it happen, but Lumao actually just hooks him out of the Sonic Wave now. Stun on the front line onto the Shy here. This is a very extended, very long fight, but Lumao goes back into his own demise. That was a disaster of a hook. But the health bars are low from the side of Weibo. Maybe more as Light finds a Gale Force forward, finishes off on. 1-for-1, supports are down. SOFM behind enemy lines, though, still threatening. Still has ways to make things happen. LNG return to this mid lane again.
And this is where Light is really online, right? We're talking about putting the resources into late game carries for LNG and getting the payoff. Light on this Jinx, absolutely a carry in this situation. And the thing is, it's not a pro Corki. No one can really match his range. They are going to start at the Baron. Angels in the vicinity. SOFM caught!
Yeah, he's going to get ulted by Tarzan. Chase down, has to flash. A lot of cooldowns here. Still has his smite though. Sonic Wave onto the Baron. Could be a 50-50 as Huanfeng is flanking. He's doing the Huanfeng. He's doing what he did at Worlds once again. 80 carry behind enemy lines. He's going for Tarzan 1v1. I'm not sure if he wins it though. Finally gets that kill. This is pure chaos. The Shy looking for light as well as SOFM now chasing them down. But LNG, they're on the wrong side of the map and they're slowly but surely getting picked apart. Light trying to turn the fight around, but Angel takes him down. In the meantime, Allah got a kill onto Huanfeng. Now onto the Baron again. Allah has to make the hero play. Albert goes onto Angel, misses the shock blast, but it doesn't matter. Sonic Wave connects. SOFM has to go in here, but Allah has damage. Won't finish the kill off. Lumao alone. And I think Weibo have done it. I think they get themselves the Baron.
Should be able to get it on the back of this, right? They have 3 tanky members. They won't take too much damage. It's still 13 seconds until Tarzan even respawns, and then he also has to get that. But man, this game, right? It felt like LNG had missed the window for the early win cons, but such a back and forth. They deny the soul, then they end up losing out the Baron fight in the extended play. Huanfeng on that flank. I have no idea how we got that. I'm going to be honest, but
yeah, I don't know. I have no idea either. This is a really slow Baron. I don't think Tarzan is even going to try and contest those, so it's okay. They will get that Baron.
It's slow, but Tarzan was so far away from even spawning, let alone getting there. They will eventually get it. The nice thing is, because it took so long, Huanfeng just respawns, so he'll get the Baron, but he was just waiting there. He just backed up, retreated from that initial fight, right? And said, you know what? I kind of am feeling myself. I have my ultimate. Why don't I just stay over here?
My question is, when did this happen? You know, when did he have that moment of, I'm going to need to be a flanking Xayah this game? I love that. I love this player, honestly. Tarzan tries to go for it, but Huanfeng, very dangerous face check there, but still manages to survive.
Yeah, and I just love how the Shy just walks at light. And that's the thing, like, when the fight is structured where it's like LNG can hit the Shy without any recourse. Oh. Without any recourse, it feels great, but when the Shy is right up in the Jinx's face, a little bit painful. This is actually a no IE Jace, no IE Jinx, sorry. Light picking up the GA is the last item, so definitely not quite as much damage as you could have, but go for the defensive tool of the GA. The utility of the Storm Razor for that slow. But both teams posturing mid. Weibo with the Baron.
Yeah. And take a look at Angel's inventory as well. 6 items at this point on the Corki. That is a late game AD carry. Make no mistake, this is not Poke Corki. He will one-shot people if they get too close. And Dragon, up in 40 seconds time. Weibo with the Baron should be able to get themselves priority. I'd expect someone to try and push that bot wave out, but I guess it is a fairly large wave. It should push itself, hopefully. Is Angel actually going to recall in vision, but DoingB takes a huge chunk. Angel, he's got to get back to this fight fast. But LNG not going to pull the trigger. They know that Corki wasn't there, but they don't pull the trigger on the fight. Package now available for Angel, and it looks like Weibo want this one for themselves. Angel. Package into everyone. Angel has a GA, and he forces one out from Light as well. SOFM alongside him, trying to find the enemy. AD carry kick goes through. Sonic Wave connects, but it's not onto him. Allah is buying space, though, as SOFM puts 3 of them against him in the back line. Forces the rest of the team away, and somehow Weibo come out on top, but it's 1-for-1, and Tarzan actually survives. Somehow this is an even one. Jungler down for Weibo, but they're going to start the Drake anyway.
We got all the GAs being burned there in that situation. Such a chaotic fight started by Angel, who just dove straight in. Like, I have GA, I'm going to make this happen. They will get the Ocean Soul. LNG not going to be there in time to contest. Pretty big, especially for Weibo, who have this Scion. He's already so hard to take down. Actually healing a fight, but look at Tarzan fishing for something.
This is such a bagger, the way these teams are posturing. Lumao now steps too far forward. It's a game of inches, and he might have just stepped 1 inch too far, but Allah hasn't. Takes out Huanfeng. What a pick. What a play from Allah, the guy that had to make it happen, but On answers it with a great knock-up, and Weibo somehow go 2-for-1.
We're 500 gold apart, which is basically even at this point. Such an irrelevant amount of gold. These teams are still going head-to-head. Light, really the big carry for the side of LNG, but you can see Olive finding these opportunities. It is now Ocean Soul to Weibo. Definitely a solid advantage, especially when there isn't really any grievous wounds on the side of LNG. We'll get that replay, and this is just... I just realized I haven't spotted here. They're just going to walk past me, and he literally just one-shots him. And the thing is, he nearly gets away as well but on flash W, right? And just catches him to finish him off. This game has been an absolute mad one, but I am so here for it. Huang Feng respawning in just a few. Arlo will be a bit longer, and aren't really any objectives on the map for them to pick up right now. But again, Ocean Soul and Pocket does make a big difference.
It certainly does. That's good, especially for the Shy, right? He's completely invincible at this point. Look at his inventory on top of it as well. But I just want to reiterate, this is the fight for first in the LPL, and it could not be more perfect of a game for it, right? We have two teams at 7-1. Whoever wins will have a positive game difference over V5, who are currently on 8 wins. So whoever wins this series will take first place for the time being. And you can see how much that means to both of these teams. They are fighting tooth and nail. And after the early game, I was about ready to count LNG out. I felt like Weibo had this one in the bag, but LNG managing to hold on, and these fights are just pure chaos from start to end.
It feels like, you know, we talked about the Jinx and the Jace being these sort of late game carries that you want to lean your mid jungle pressure to. LNG really missed the mark on that, but Arle and Light don't really care. They're still delivering. Both of them full build at this point. You see Light has actually sold the GA, which is obviously on cooldown for the IE, so less safety at the moment, but more damage in Pocket. The other side, Huang Feng full build, Angel full build, even picked up a Zhonya's as a defensive tool, because obviously also GA on cooldown. Tons of damage coming out of these pivotal carries at this point, and it really feels like this late in the game, one big team fight could decide it all.
Probably will decide it all, honestly, but neither team necessarily at a significant advantage. The Ocean Soul, I think, the only defining factor when it comes to finding those advantages. But that said, Huang Feng has started to fall off at this point. You know, with Zhonya's on Luma, with Duan B having a stone plate, Zhonya's on Tarzan as well. There's a lot of armor across the squad of LNG, and this lethality is going to stop feeling anywhere near as effective.
Yeah, and it really feels like at this point, the thing is, with Arle, he's so good at landing Shock Blast from the backline as a Jace, right? Whereas for Huang Feng, it's very hard for him to ever land damage onto Light. The range is proving to be a different issue here. You have the package spawning up in a second, looking towards Baron. Angel is going to grab that one.
Angel has the package. Baron up on the map in 5 seconds time. And Angel not going to choose to TP just yet. Going to walk on over with that move speed that you get from the package, as well as on alongside him. Weibo posturing for a fight, even though 2 of their teammates weren't even there yet. But I respect the confidence. And hey, you can happily take a couple of tags.
Oh! Yeah. What is that damage?
That is some damage.
That is painful.
That is damage and a half.
And that's the thing, right? Huang Feng's full build. You know, there's nothing else you can really do unless you switch out your items. But they are going to stop the Baron. They do have the Ocean Soul to heal up. This is going extremely quick.
It certainly is. SOFM over the wall as well. Duan B trying to contest. Tarzan's nowhere near, though. And SOFM just jumps into the pit. They'll smite this one. The Shy buying time for his team. Devoured by On. Baron is taken at no cost to Weibo whatsoever. They didn't even have to use the package.
Yeah, they didn't even use it. It felt like LNG so hesitant to approach, which I get, right? It's so scary moving forwards when the Shy could be hiding around a corner looking for a big engage, when Angel has the package, but ultimately Weibo, right? This game's been hyper close, but they have the Ocean Soul, they have the Baron. It's Elder in a minute 15. The goal now is push up, maintain control of the area. If you keep pushing these waves in, and LNG can never get close to the Dragon, it's going to be so hard to contest. But now they're looking for Arla.
Certainly are. Sonic Wave is there. Arla in trouble. SOFM can't commit, though, and gets hooked in. He's the one in trouble instead, and he goes down. That's a huge pick. Tarzan with a great ulti onto Angel, but the Zhonya's keeps him alive for the time being. Ocean Soul keep him in going. There's Duan B's on the back line, but he's against 2 big carries, and he just doesn't have the damage to finish them. Zhonya's comes on through from just about everyone in the game as Duan B flashes out safety. The Shy kills Tarzan! Both junglers down with Elder spawning in 30 seconds time, and now Duan B jumps away from the knockup. The Shy is full HP! He's completely invincible!
Even though they kill SOFM at the start, they still end up losing the fight. These big shock blasts from Arlen, just the sustain coming out from Huang Feng, from Angel, from the Ocean Soul, right? Despite the fact he keeps landing this huge amount of poke on the Weibo's backline, it just doesn't matter. No one was able to get on them and threaten them. And despite instantly going to a 4v5, Weibo still win out. And now SOFM is 10 seconds away, Tarzan 20, but Weibo, no, they don't even necessarily need to wait for their jungler. Very hard for LNG to approach right now. And look at the Shy.
Yeah, they just have to zone right now. Loom out, going to get onto the Shy, but they're not even going to be able to break the shield. Rocket comes on through. That'll give them vision. 4,000 on this Elder. Loom out moving in, doing B there over the wall as well, but it's taken Elder for Huanfeng. Angel one-shot slide over the wall, and now the Shy in a 2v1 with Angel peppering rockets over the wall. Huanfeng jumps into melee range because the man has no fear. It's going to be game for Weibo as they take the Elder and they barrel it down mid.
LNG managed to make it a fight, but it really felt like they needed that early momentum because Weibo come through strong in the late game. The Shy feeling immortal. Angel and Huanfeng doing so much damage. And in the end, they got their soul, they got the Baron, they got the Elder, and they're going to take the game.
Man, I love the LPL. This is the fight for first that we were all looking for, and this is just game number 1. We got a whole best of 3 of this coming your way. It's going to be Weibo taking down the Nexus and going 1-0 up over LNG.
Man, that, you know, there was some chaotic moments in that. Just raw chaotic energy in that game. Super back and forth. And honestly, when you take into account how disastrous the early game was for LNG, how much they kind of missed out on their win conditions, they made that a lot closer than I thought it'd end up being, right? Light on the Jinx, definitely a big threat. And that huge 4-man ult from Tarzan kept them in the game. Really makes you think if they'd managed to snowball an early lead, how different this could have been. But I think when it came to the team fighting, really Weibo on point in a lot of manners, but also this Corki just became such a problem, as he does, as he always does.
Yeah. I mean, I think if the Shy doesn't get 3 kills during the laning phase, this is a very different game, right? But the fact that the Shy was ahead this entire time, right? He was basically invincible the entire game. There was a couple of fights where he overstepped it and went 1v5 and did get taken out, but ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, he was a monster.
Man, that is... yeah, that's it. That sells the story. But what I want to bring attention to is, like, we obviously know Angel and Huanfeng did so much, but look at all this damage on this Jace. Right? Look at, I mean, everyone. It was obviously just a heavy damage game. Ocean Soul's a factor in that. But, like, I know it's a 45-minute game. I know it's a long one, but it felt like everyone was just pumping out damage, these big carries. The Shy did more damage than either Tarzan and Doingby, right? It's kind of mad.
And that was just his Thorn, man. Yeah, I will say, SOFM, I think, deserves, like, a badge of honor for this one. In the early game, especially, some of the plays he was playing out. I feel like SOFM, the better jungler out of the 2 across the course of this game, although Tarzan had some incredible moments as well. It's kind of a hard one to call, but I feel like SOFM had to step up after locking the Lee Sin in, right? Taking it away from Tarzan, getting the comfort for himself, and boy, did he. Some of those kicks that we got to see were just... I mean, I can't get enough watching LPL Lee Sins, man. It's just too much.
I just love the one mid where he landed the Sonic Wave on a light. Light flashes, and then he ward hop and then flash kicks all in, gets his flash as well. Really, like, not only was it just so slick and smooth, but really heads up decision making there. But yeah, I'm so ready for a full series.
Yeah, just like double glazing windows, mate. You buy one, you get one free. We're going to jump into a break, and then we're going to see if Weibo can take first